Hello everyone, I'm Sami Sadawi. I'm a technical manager at La Chance Group. The part as we defined now the fat and bile acid and the synthesis of bile acid. So the next part, how bile acid can do this work and what is the job that is mean, what's the mode of action of fat and how bile acid can assist in fat digestion in addition to contribute to additionality function in fat and protein and the carbohydrate and then assist in signaling. The mechanism of fat and absorption in ruminant animal, it is started with the feed. The first one, we need the feed to reach to the small intestine as a free fatty acid and then to be absorbed via small intestine wall or epithelium and then to be carried out by lipoprotein to the lymphatic, then to be secreted in the milk or to be stored in the body. That is mean the fat to be absorbed, it should be converted to free fatty acid. And how can we make these steps? To make this step, we have two main steps that occur in the rumen. The first one, it is the hydrolysis. As we mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, triglyceride and the fat is contained, it is a compound of two molecules, fatty acid combined and the glycerol. So we need to break down. This is molecules, the fatty acid and the glycerol is connected with the ester bond. So to make it free, we need to break down this bond, to break down the ester bond. So how can we make this? Microflora in the rumen can digest easily. So the first step, it is named the hydrolysis. The second step to convert unsaturated fatty acid to saturated fatty acid, and also as we mentioned and took this distribution and the definition of the fat and the categories of fat, unsaturated fatty acid, it should be converted to saturated fatty acid. That is mean to convert the double bond to single bond, and this job also is did by microflora. So microflora did this two job in the rumen. After that, fatty acid is going to the small intestine. Inside the small intestine, in the duodenum part, the secretion of bile acid combined with the enzymatic secretion from pancreas lipase. Combined together, bile acid started to make the emulsification, that is mean to increase the surface, to increase the surface of absorption. So when lipase started to make the action, so we have the large surface, that is meant to increase the capacity and the efficiency of lipase. So secretion started in the first part in the duodenum to make the micelle. After micelle is formed with the combined of bile acid and lipase, started to be absorbed. The absorption occurred in the second part of the small intestine in jejunum. So this is the second part. We have three parts in the small intestine. The first one duodenum, second one jejunum, and the last one is the ileum. So the secretion of bile and the lipase occur in the first part of the small intestine in duodenum, and the absorption start in the second in jejunum. Here in jejunum, the absorption from micelle and free fatty acid to occur in this part. Absorption of free fatty acid by the gut wall to occur in this part. After absorption and inside the small intestine, inside the gut wall of the small intestine, to reconvert it back free fatty acid to triglyceride. After that, it is need to move and to carry out the triglyceride to the lymphatic, and this action is did by lipoprotein and the chylomicron to carry out the triglyceride from the small intestine gut wall to the lymphatic system to be secreted in the milk or to be stored in the body tissue. In this part, I would like also to mention that there are some kind of fat secreted also in the milk, especially for, as example, for dairy cows, as example for short chain fatty acid like acetic and propionic and butyric. This kind of fatty acid is not moved from the small intestine, but instead it is absorbed from the rumen wall to the bloodstream and then to be secreted and manufactured in the udder of the animal, and then to be secreted directly in the milk, not to flow this direction. This direction is mainly for the long chain fatty acid, starting from 14 and more than 14 carbon atom. But for short chain fatty acid, this is synthesized inside the udder of the animal with the process named de novo fatty acid synthesis. So in this part, this is the mechanism and the mode of action of fat and the bile acid, and what is the role of bile acid and the role of lipolytic enzyme in digestion and in absorption of fat in ruminant animal. This is the main part, as bile acid work as emulsifier, but this is not the main role. There are also many roles that bile acid can involve it in animal nutrition. For this part, as a bile acid work as emulsifier, the second part is working also to participate in triglyceride metabolism. Let's talk in this brief, and also we are planning in future to prepare for additional series in ruminant nutrition and the bile acid, and we will discuss in detail